Meeks is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Madam Secretary, thank you so much for all of the great work that you're doing. We know that your work to get people affordable rent and to make sure that individuals are able to buy homes are extremely important. And so I can't thank you and the Biden administration so much for all of the work that you're continuing doing on a regular basis. And it's so good to see you and so good to have you back here in the United States House of Representatives. And my question is just around that, because of my bringing up in the church. We always talk about how we want individuals to buy the house and rent the car, because the house is an appreciating asset and the car is a depreciating asset, and it helps create wealth. And yet, from a study that Harvard University's Joint Center for Housing Studies says that every state across the United States, Black, Hispanic, and Native American households have lower home ownership rates than white households. And the gap is most prevalent in Black communities, in Black households. At just 41.7%, Black households have the lowest rate of home ownership nationally. And, I long have believed that affordable home ownership is the key to building generational wealth for families and communities, as it has helped me and my family. So, I'm focused on making home buying more accessible for first-time home buyers transitioning from renting, which I think is essential. But at one of the last Congressional Black Caucus conferences that we had, the National Realtors Association estimates that only 9% of renters nationwide can now afford to buy a median-priced home. So could you just speak on what HUD is currently doing to help ensure that renters, especially those of African descent and from underserved communities, are able to move from renting to home ownership? And what are some of your upcoming plans that we can anticipate at HUD to help drive up home ownership for communities of color?
Thank you, Congressman. I'd be happy to. The first thing we do is we do home buyer assistance, so that many people who think they cannot afford a home really can. We're looking at how we address down payment assistance. We're looking at how we make it more affordable on the front end to get into a home, considering even longer mortgages possibly. But more importantly, what we're saying to people is we're going to help you create the credit that you need. We have self-help programs in many of with our vouchers and in our public housing. We have now said that if you report to us and the only credit you have is paying your rent on time for the last year, we consider you credit worthy, which has never happened before, because what happens, people report to us and we say you have no credit, so we can't give you a loan. Secondly, I would say to you that FHA right now provides support for mortgages for African Americans at 3 times the market, and for Hispanics at twice the market. Our numbers are big. Even in this economy, we are making it such that people can afford to buy homes because of the creative things we have done. And I think that as long as we continue to provide the housing technical assistance, and we have them all over the United States, we're looking at fair housing and discrimination in the housing market, as well as what we are finding that the redlining that is going on in communities, we are bringing that to the forefront, and we are in lawsuits with certain communities that have created an environment in which people cannot buy homes, especially people of color. So between fair housing, between the changes we have made to our own processes in underwriting, and we have decided that when we sell properties that come back to us for whatever reason, that we first sell them to people who want to live in them, as opposed to putting them on the market and selling them to corporations. So those are some of the things that we do.
Well, thank you for that. I only have a few seconds, and I think it was mentioned previously about the FHA mortgage insurance premiums and working together to do that. My question would be, do you think there could be a scenario where FHA mortgage insurance premiums could follow a model that is similar to the private mortgage insurance, where after a period of time you get equity in the home, that drops the, they can eliminate that insurance product, and that drops the monthly cost. Is there something that you think that we can work, or that the HUD can do in that regards?
I would love to see it happen.
Thank you. I yield back.
The gentleman from Michigan, Mr. Heise.